What's going on, class? Noah here, and today we're going to be talking about sustainable living on FGCU campus, things that they do already to live sustainably, and things that they could also do or they could implement to help us live on a greener earth. So the first thing, what is sustainable living exactly? So sustainable living is living in ways that reduce individual and collective environmental impact, reducing waste, purifying the air, purifying our waterways, limiting pollution, and this supports long-term ecological balance and reduces waste, obviously. So next is how FGCU promotes sustainability. So one thing FGCU does have is the FGCU food forest. And on top of that, we also do use campus-wide solar energy. So if you see on top of a lot of the buildings, or even in certain areas on grass, we have solar panels, and that's what powers, I think, most of our buildings, if I'm mistaken. But that's what you'll see around campus. And instead of using electricity sources from the city, we'll use solar energy, and that helps just a natural way of us to get energy without having to use resources as much from the earth. Our LEED certified buildings, such as Leggett Hall and our newly implemented water school, the water school helps us do more research actually on how we can live more sustainably, how we can have cleaner waterways, and how we can just make for a greener earth. And that includes water conservation within reclaimed water systems, like I said. And we have a nature trail on campus as well, and that is for educational purposes. And it's also part of our community, helps us build a community of, nature. We live on a preserve, or the school is built on a preserve that was donated to us. So we do have the food forest and a nature trail. So now what can we do as students to assist in living more green and living sustainably? The biggest thing, use refillable water bottles and reusable containers. And if you end up using a plastic water bottle or anything, highly suggest putting in recycle. It takes no more time than if you just walked over to the trash can and threw it away. Just go to a recycled trash can and throw it out, and that will allow us to reuse these resources, and it won't lead to as much trash over the ground like we usually see, unfortunately. Transportation, ride the Eagle Express or bike to campus. Riding the Eagle Express or biking, it limits emissions. If everyone's just driving to campus, that's thousands of students a day that are just driving. If you live on campus and you're just driving, it wastes a lot of gas, unrenewable resource, and it puts out a lot of emissions, and that's not healthy for our environment. So if you're able to bike, great. Save gas, save the earth, and if you're able to ride the Eagle Express, great. That's everyone on a bus instead of all those people taking their own separate cars. Third thing is volunteer in the FGCU food forest or cleanup events. FGCU puts on a lot of cleanup events weekly. I know because I did some service learning hours for FGCU, and I did some cleanup events around campus, and that just helps the campus look better as a whole, and it helps our ecosystem because we do live on an ecosystem at FGCU, and that just helps the wildlife be able to, live comfortably and not have to be harmed by these things. Fourth thing you can do is join eco-friendly clubs of the Student Sustainability Committee. Like I just said, you can do food drives, you can do beach cleanups, you can do campus cleanups, and so that kind of circles back to my third point. So small changes, big impact. Turn off lights and unplug devices when you're not needing them. So if you leave your house or your room, turn off the lights. If you leave your dorm, turn off the lights. I know teachers, when they leave their classrooms, they turn off the lights. That helps with electricity and saving power. Take shorter showers. If you use a lot of water, that's not going to be helpful in anything. If you take shorter showers, that just allows for, one, you to save money on your water bill, and two, it's water that you're not wasting if you just sit there for 45 minutes. Choose digital over printed materials. It's easier to just find everything online, so why not just choose digital anyways? Printed material obviously requires killing trees, using a lot of ink, and that's just stuff that we could go without if we have the digital era. Buy local or secondhand. So for me, I buy a lot of secondhand clothing. I go to a thrift store, or actually there's a kid who does a thrift store on campus. It's called Second Chance Clothing, and I'll buy a lot from him. Instead, that stuff just goes to waste. And if you buy off him, and this shirt actually I bought from him, and so I love it. It's a nice shirt, and I bought it from Second Chance Clothing. So here's my references and credits. These are all things I got information of about FGCU. what we've done already, or what FGCU has implemented already. I used, this is my citation for that, and then my video, and yeah.